Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Championship Predictions for another big set of Championship games coming this weekend. As ever, do make sure to get your predictions down below. Do make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Premier League predictions will be out at lunchtime tomorrow. I'm joined by Sophie. How you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Let's get straight into this with Friday night's game. We have a West Midlands derby in the form of Birmingham City versus West Bromwich Albion. Now, West Brom played last Friday night when they beat Coventry City 1-0. Birmingham City, though, drama. They won 4-3 at Swansea with 2 stoppage time goals. Unbelievable match. They're finally off their losing run. They'll want to try and use that as a springboard, but it's a difficult one now at home to the informed Baggies. At the time of recording this video, West Brom's manager, Carlos Corberán, is #1 odds on to go to the Leeds vacancy.
Yeah, he's a good manager, though.
He is a good manager.
That's why they're in for him.
This is a massive game. I think it'll be tight. I think Birmingham might be able to get something, but with West Brom being in such good form, I might have to just edge them. I'll go for a 1-0 Baggies.
Oh, okay, I see there being a couple of goals in this, but I feel like I'm going to have to back the Baggies to win just because of the form they're in at the moment. Taking nothing away from Blues, that was a great result at the weekend, especially to come from behind as well and get that result. So for me, the Baggies win this one 2-1. 2-1.
Okay, on to Bloomfield Road, another relegation 6-pointer. Blackpool have just played Huddersfield and now they're straight back in action against Rotherham. This is tricky. I do want to see Blackpool stay up. They've pulled out some good results so far this season, but I've got to say Rotherham will be better rested. A good 0-0 against Sheffield United last time out, and I think Rotherham might actually stay up this year. This is a massive game. I'm going to back the away team, as I say, better rested, come into this in decent form. Blackpool 1, Rotherham 2.
Oh, I think for me, because this is such a big game, I see a draw playing out. So I'm going to say 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
It's a massive game.
Doesn't really benefit either team, to be honest. Maybe Rotherham slightly more being away from home, but to be honest, both teams need the 3 points here.
Absolutely. Right, we go on to Bristol City versus Norwich City. Norwich have been good under David Wagner, but then they lose 3-0 to Burnley. Okay, Burnley are brilliant. Bristol City, meanwhile, are really improving, and they won again away at Preston. As we said, they beat West Brom in the FA Cup. They're flying on every front, and it's been a great start to 2023. But as I say, Norwich have been pretty good, except for the defeat to Burnley. So I'm tempted to go for a draw here, but I'm just going to back the home team. Bristol City are in good form. 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same, actually. I think I actually backed Norwich to get a bit of a shock win against Burnley, but no, the form Burnley are in, I should have backed them, to be honest. So coming into this one, Norwich should be looking to kind of bounce back from that, but the form Bristol City are in, I just see Bristol City winning this, so 2-1. 2-1, okay, massive. Right, on to Cardiff City as they take on Middlesbrough. Now, Cardiff City are just struggling. They can't buy a win at this moment in time, and Middlesbrough are just getting win after win. Yeah.
I mean, the fact Cardiff are at home might give them something, but I still don't see them. I just think you look at the form, Cardiff are going down, Middlesbrough are going up. I think I'm going to have to back Middlesbrough, and quite comfortably as well. Under Michael Carrick, they've been brilliant. 2-0 Borough. Yeah,
no, I'm actually going to say the same, 2-0 Borough. I think Carrick's doing a good job there. Akpom is a great player, and Cardiff just are very underwhelming, so 2-0 Middlesbrough. Right
then, next on to the CBS as Coventry City take on Luton Town. A game obviously we'll be going to. Just have to mention this week we've had some really sad news on the Monday as our uncle Mark passed away, and he was a massive lifelong Coventry City fan. He bled sky blue, and he honestly went to all the games in the 70s, 80s, 90s. He had so much history and knowledge about Coventry City, and we used to have great football conversations, and I'm deeply going to miss him, and I really hope we could pull out a decent result in his memory. But I've got to say, a couple of days ago, coming into this, I was thinking, oh, Luton are going to win. Luton Town are absolutely flying. Whether they win pretty or ugly, they just seem to grind out the 3 points, and I do think they'll make the top 6 this season. But being back at home, I know Coventry aren't in great form, but I feel like we might be able to pull something out. I'm going to go 1-1.
No, I'm feeling very pessimistic about this one, actually. I think it's the form that we're in at the moment, and then coming up against a strong Luton team who are absolutely flying. I can only see this ending one way, and that's just losing, even with us being at home. 2-1 Luton.
Next up on to a London derby as Queen's Park Rangers take on Millwall. They both played last weekend. They both pulled out 1-1 draws. Millwall were at home to Sunderland. Millwall are very much in that conversation. QPR, meanwhile, they got a 1-1 at Huddersfield and really need to get motoring again, because they're not completely out of this conversation, and maybe at home they might get a win to pull themselves back into it. I think they might actually edge this. 2-1 QPR.
Yeah, for me this is two teams that could be in the playoffs for me. I think they're two good championship teams that should look to get the playoffs pretty much every season, but they're both kind of just outside at the moment. I'm going to sit on the fence and say a draw, but an entertaining one. 2-2.
2-2, yeah, that would be a great game. Okay, on to Bramall Lane. Sheffield United sat in second place against Swansea City. Sheffield United just sat in second and don't look like moving, because I don't think they're going to catch up to Burnley, but then they're so clear of third place. They're just doing their own and going along in second place. Last time out it was 0-0 at Rotherham. It's not great, but it's not a disaster, because they're so far clear that they probably can afford the odd draw here and there. They're at home to Swansea, who'll be a bit negative after that defeat to Birmingham City and the fashion they lost that game. And Swansea can play good football. They might try and cause Sheffield United some problems. They might get on the score sheet, but Sheffield United do have the ability to grind out wins. I'm going to say 2-1 to the Blades.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I think Swansea will score, but especially being at home, Blades should be winning this one. For me, I think they'll look at the Rotherham game as kind of dropping points. But as you say, they're sitting in second place comfortably, so it doesn't really matter too much. I think they'll get back to winning ways this weekend, and I agree with you, 2-1.
2-1. Okay, on to Stoke City, who take on Hull City. Stoke City and Hull City a few weeks ago were in a similar position, but Hull City under Rosinia are actually starting to trend up the table, and it's not impossible they could get themselves into that top 10 at the end of the season. Who knows? Late playoff charge, who knows? They'd have to be really good, but it's not impossible. I think they're good favourites for this one, although they're away, because they're actually moving in the right direction, whereas Stoke City are okay on their day, but very inconsistent. So I'm going to back Hull 1-0.
Yeah, no, I'm going to say the exact same again. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think Hull have the quality to grind this one out. Another 3 points for the Tigers, 1-0.
1-0. Okay, on to the Stadium of Light. Massive game as Sunderland host Reading. Sunderland with another decent draw at Millwall, and they just continue to stay in that top 10 and top 6 conversation. I think at home to Reading, I'm going to fancy them. Although Reading seem to spring up with wins every now and then.
Random ones.
And they did get a good draw 2-2 against Watford.
Yeah.
I think Sunderland are going to win at home just to keep themselves in the conversation for a little bit longer. And who knows where it will lead to. Sunderland 2-0.
Yeah, I was half tempted to back Sunderland being at home. However, I know that Reading can be quite a tough team to break down, and they have got a bit of fight in them. So I can see a draw playing out here. I'm going to say 1-1.
1-1. Okay, yeah, interesting game. It wouldn't be great for Sunderland, but there you go. On to Watford, who take on Blackburn Rovers. Both sides with a draw last time out. Blackburn on the Monday night, 0-0 against Wigan.
Yeah, I know. They just love drawing now. It's really weird.
Yeah, they wait so long for a draw and then they all start coming along.
3 and 4 games.
This could be a draw, to be honest, but I think Watford might pinch this. They could really do with 3 points. I'm going to say 1-0 to Watford.
I'm going to say 3-0 Watford.
What?
Yeah, I don't know why. I think Blackburn every so often come up with like quite a bad result, and I think they're quite a good team, to be honest. Like the players they've got, they are a good team. I think with Watford being 2-0 up against Reading, they really should have seen that game out. So I think they're going to come back from that draw, almost to kind of take it as a loss and have a heavy win. So 3-0.
3-0. Wow. Okay, and the final game is another massive relegation 6-pointer, Wigan versus Huddersfield. Lots of games fascinating down the bottom, and I've got to say, although a lot of people will still fancy Wigan to go down, that 0-0 at Blackburn is a start, isn't it? It's maybe a start of something. I mean, they're in a difficult situation, but with Kolo Touré out the door and possibly some good change and positivity coming into Wigan, they might find themselves just clawing back into this, but they have to win this game. Huddersfield, as we said, were in action against Blackpool. They might be not so well rested, so 2-1 Wigan.
I'm going to say 2-1 the opposite way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I think Waghorn's going to get on the scoring sheet again. So 2-1.
2-1 Huddersfield, Martin Waghorn. There you go, guys. That wraps up our championship predictions. As I say, do get your predictions down below. Once again, do make sure to drop a like and do hit the red subscribe button. Thank you for your great support. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.